So, okay, my brother and I both went to the same high school. Roughly, we overlapped some. And, there were several teachers at our school that had no business still being teachers. Like, they should have been let go. And I don't know why they weren't. But they're clearly, either had dementia or they had been dropped on their head or something or whatever. But for whatever reason, they were, tasked with managing high school students' education in various subjects like English and whatever. But my brother and I both ended up having a couple teachers that we fondly recall being ridiculous back then. And one was Miss who I had, and the other was Miss. Actually, you know what? Let's change their names. Let's like it like Miss Slim Shade, Miss Shady, and Miss. Well, no. How about Spiky Plant?
Spiky Mountain.
There you go.
Yeah.
Spike Tree, Miss Spike Tree.
Miss Spike Tree.
Yeah, because that's close enough, but it's not revealing,
so we can't get in trouble. The guilty.
Yeah, Shady and Spike Tree.
They were guilty of stupidity.
Do you want to tell about Miss Spike Tree first?
I'll tell if I can remember. If I can remember to change the name every time. All right.
I can bleep it probably if it's bad.
So when I was in school, this was my geography teacher, and I knew it was going to be quite the interesting class because in the first couple of weeks, she had this whole lesson on the Rocky Mountains that she had visited the summer before in Arizona.
Wait,
and so
are the Rocky Mountains in Arizona? I mean, this is how bad I am at geography. You see, we didn't learn anything in geography class.
In Colorado. And we're all sitting there in class, and I'm like, did she just say that? And we're just sitting there, and it's just...
Maybe she saw a rock on a mountain.
Maybe. Grand Canyon, but the opposite. Maybe she was on acid. Who knows?
Maybe she watched the movie Rocky on a mountain.
I don't know. She absolutely knows the Rocky. And I remember this thing like week 2 maybe in class. And, the things that we did to this woman were, I mean, I say that, but it wasn't like illegal.
It's past the statute of limitations. You don't have to worry. Or the statute of limitations.
Yeah, so...
And we've made them change the names like they do in Fargo, so it's totally okay.
Yeah. So I knew it was going to be an interesting class when she had this whole lesson on the fact that she went to the Rocky Mountains and visited Arizona. And I was like, I remember raising my hand and going, I don't think you know where that is. And she said, I know where it is. I've been there. She used to smoke like 6 packs a day. And she'd have this like wicked, like, sounding voice when she did anything. Almost like, I don't know, like a kid grunts to take a dump. Like it's just like, So she had this whole persona. And so we knew at that point, it's me and it's like a couple of friends of mine that were in the class, and then a bunch of just like seniors who should have been, they're probably like their fourth year going to senior year,
and you guys, it was like a game to see who could do the best job of trolling her, right? Like every day.
It really was. So the first, when that happened, it was like, all right, game on. Okay, so the first thing that we did was, and I remember that was kind of I was a shit back then. I don't know if I can say that, whatever. I was funny, but I was popular and people liked me, so I could get away with a lot. I say it like that, not as like go me, because believe it or not, I'm a teacher now, so that's what's funny. So I organized this whole thing where she needed our books to be picked up for class, because back then you didn't have digitized anything. It was all, textbooks. And they were
yeah, that's right. I remember there was like this, okay, for people who don't, again, we're old dudes, but like, it used to be you would get these huge, like super thick, like if you dropped them on your head, it'd knock you out, books. But they didn't keep them in the classrooms. They kept them like in this weird room.
It's a book room.
It smelled horrible, like a paper mill, probably because, basically it was with like 5,000 books there. But you'd have to like get a cart and like get all the books for whatever class it was down the hall for different classes.
Or you could do what we did, and we said, hey, here's me and 3 friends. We'll go down, we'll get the books and bring them back.
This is what you told her, right?
This is what we told her. She's like, oh yeah, let's do that. So we get sent out of the room. We go down to the book room where the assistant principal is. And the assistant principal at the time she was really like gung-ho about discipline and stuff, which is, you know, they kind of have to be or whatever. And we were
Right.
gung ho about the exact opposite. So there's like I don't know. Let's just say there's 20 of us in class, which means we had 5 books apiece. There's 4 of us that went down. 5 books. So we get up there halfway up the stairs because we were on the 2nd floor of this building we were in. We didn't have elevators, you know, because ADA back in the 90s was like non-existent or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I remember the closest thing you had was like carry his wheelchair up the stairs and hope you don't drop him.
It was pretty. Yeah. It's terrible. Anyways, so we're halfway up the stairs, and I turn around and go, guys, what are we doing? So here's what we need to do. She has no clue where the Rockies are. She has no idea where these books are coming from. So
what we have here is a golden opportunity.
We said, let's set the books in the hallway right next to the door. We'll tell her that they only gave us 1 book at a time. We'll enter in the class. So we went to the door 1 at a time and brought them to class. And she goes,
wait, so you had the cart right outside the class with all of the books, but you pretended you only were given 1 at a time from the book closet.
We go to the door and we open the door and she goes, did they not give you all the books? And like, no, they told us we could only bring 1 at a time. They didn't trust us. And she goes, well, that's just weird, odd. You know,
but she bought it.
We would hand a book off, and everybody in everybody in the class knew what was happening. We'd hand a book to the first person on the front row, and so on and so on, and then we'd leave, and then we'd wander around for a while.
We'd grab a candy bar from the candy bar machine.
Exactly, get something to drink, and then on the way back up, we'd grab 1 more book and we'd hand it off, and then we'd leave again. So it took, you know, we were in 1.5-hour classes. So it took 1.5 hours to hand out 20 books because they only sent 1 book at a time. So we had to take it and go, you know. It was classic.